Hello, I'm Bryce Knorr, Senior Editor of Farm Futures Magazine. Welcome to The Buzz for Monday, August 12, 2013. USDA's long-awaited August crop report was worth the wait. Market analyst Paul Bergner joins me to discuss the government's surprising estimates that prompted a good rally today. But first, a big thanks to the farmers who participated in our recent survey. Your findings pointed the way towards several big results in today's report. For corn, USDA put new crop production at 13.763 billion bushels. USDA said the average yield was 154.4 bushels per acre nationwide, close to the 155.9 figure from our survey. USDA made no changes to its forecast of acreage, which could lead to further changes down the road. The smaller crop size, coupled with slightly smaller 2012 carryout due to stronger exports, convinced the USDA to cut its forecast for 2013 carryout to 1.837 billion bushels, down 122 million from its July guess. That's still a lot of corn, and USDA bumped up its average price forecast by only a dime to $4.90. December futures sunk to its lowest price in almost 3 years before the report came out, then posted a bullish key reversal higher, rallying up to the old trend line off June and July highs. After that, there's more resistance at $4.90, with the first retracement at just under $5 and moving averages starting above $5.10. Paul, today's yield estimate really raised some eyebrows. Do you think the crop will get bigger or smaller this fall? And what should farmers be doing with sales targets now?
Well, Bryce, I expect that this crop is going to get smaller. I think that there's still some acreage things that we need to deal with. But, you take 250 million bushels out of this estimate, it still leaves you above 13.5 billion. So there's room for it to get smaller and still be a very large crop. A 13.5 billion probably leaves us still somewhere around $1.75 billion carry out. So it's still an awful lot of corn out there. It still looks to me like that $5 is the top end. If I'm below 50% sold right now, I might be looking at a 475 to 480 target for some sales. Otherwise, I'm going to hold tight and wait and see what weather does to us. It looks like it might be a little warmer and drier as we head towards the end of the month, and maybe we get some opportunities to make some sales out in there.
USDA's biggest surprise for August was a 1-2 punch for soybeans. First, the agency cut its forecast for planted and harvested acreage in line with findings from our recent survey, based on a resurvey of key states that found lower numbers in South Dakota, Minnesota, Kansas, and Arkansas. The agency's first estimate of yields based on infield data was even more impressive. USDA put the average nationwide yield at only 42.6 bushels per acre, down almost 2 bushels per acre from its previous guess. Production of 3.255 billion bushels was 165 million bushels below last month. Projected 2013 ending stocks fell 75 million, with weaker demand offsetting more than half the cut in production, to take ending stocks to 220 million. USDA put the average cash price of the crop at $11.35, up 60 cents from last month. Prices were rallying sharply ahead of the report. Weather maps are looking drier and possibly warmer too in places, and USDA announced another big new crop export sale this morning, covering 31.3 million bushels. November soybeans rallied all the way up near the 38.2% retracement of the July to August pullback, with more targets from 1245 to 1275. The selling range from my forecasting model this week was 1239. Can we take that out, Paul?
I think we will, and I think 1250 is starting to look pretty doable at this point. I'm going to be surprised on this crop as well if it doesn't continue to get smaller and we end up with very tight supplies, much like we were a year ago. So it'll be interesting to watch this one and see where it goes. But I see, somewhere in that 125 to 150 million carryout 2 years in a row. That really puts us up there at better prices, up above that 12.50. If we can get to 12.50, I think it's time to start making another, at least a small sale to catch up our sales headed into harvest.
Wheat wasn't expected to generate much news today, and that's pretty much what happened. USDA cut its estimate of 2013 crop ending stocks by 25 million bushels to 551 million due to stronger exports and jiggled its tally of new crop production as well. However, lower world prices caused the agency to lower its forecast for average cash prices by 10 cents to $7. That reflects the fact that much U.S. wheat remains priced out of many markets, including those from North Africa into the Middle East. If exports can't move prices higher, the burden for rallies would fall on conditions for seeding winter wheat. Big rains in August improved soil moisture in Kansas dramatically, though other parts of the plains remain on the dry side. Kansas City December and July wheat held contract lows today. Can they finally mount a seasonal rally, Paul?
You know, I'm not very bullish on wheat today. I'd like to be, but I just can't find a reason to be excited about it. Corn harvest is going to pull the feed demand away here rather sooner than later, and there's still a lot of areas that have zero basis or better. So there is some strength that's sitting there right now, but I don't know that there's a big rally. If you're sitting in the hard red winter wheat area, $7 Kansas City wheat might be a good time to go ahead and finish up a big portion of the sales of this crop. There doesn't look to be much carry in this market, and I'm not seeing anything that would suggest a big rally. We're awfully dry, no question about that, but is that enough to pull us a lot higher? My worry is more about a big corn crop than I am about excited about the wheat crop right now.
Well, thanks, Paul. We'll be busy next week gearing up for the Farm Progress Show, where we'll both be speaking. We'll have a preview next week on The Buzz.
This year's Farm Progress Show from August 27th to 29th in Decatur, Illinois is coming up fast, so be sure to download the show's mobile app for your iPhone or Android smartphone. Find out more at the Farm Progress Show website at farmprogressshow.com.